Now we'll study a dihybrid cross, and with reference to that we'll study also the law of independent assortment. For that, see, I have taken an example of dihybrid cross. Pure breeding tall round crossed with pure breeding dwarf wrinkled pea plants. See, pure breeding tall round are capital T, capital T, capital R as mentioned there at the top, and pure breeding dwarf wrinkled are small t, smaller. The gametes will be of capital T, capital R type, and here small t, small r type. And all F1 will have capital T, capital R, small r. That is, all F1 will be tall round dihybrids. So let us find out the F2. What is F2? The F2 is the generation which is obtained by crossing, by selfing rather, the F1 individual. So I had taken here F1 here cross with F1. That is capital R small r cross with capital R small r. Okay. And the gametes are here. Since this is double heterozygous, the gametes will be 4, 2 raised to 2, that is 4. So I have written here capital T, capital R, capital T, small t, capital R, and small t, small r. Similarly over here also. So there are 4 gametes of each parent, rather 4 types of gametes of each parent. So now let us consider the offsprings. Here capital T, capital R, capital R. Here capital T, capital R, small r. Capital T, small t, capital R, capital R. Capital T, small t, capital R, small r. If you are written this way, the same sequence over here, you will find that exactly along this line, we can say diagonal, we can write here capital T, capital R, small r. Here also capital T, capital R, small r. Capital T, capital R, small r. Okay. Next. Here capital T, capital R, small r. Capital T, small r. Capital T, small r. Capital T, capital R. Here small t, capital R. Small t, capital R, small r. Here capital T, then small r. Okay. Here small t, capital R, small r. And this is double homozygous, small t, small r. Double homozygous recessive. Okay. Now let us write down the phenotypes. Capital T, capital R means these are tall round. These are also tall round. Okay. And tall round. Here tall round. Here tall and wrinkled. Tall round. Tall and wrinkled. Okay. Here tall round. Small t, that is dwarf. So dwarf round. This is dwarf round. Here again tall round. Tall wrinkled. Dwarf round and dwarf wrinkled. So the genotypic ratio, if you observe the genotypes, the genotypic ratio is quite lengthy to be written here. 1:2:2:2:4:1:2:1:2:1. 1:2:1. I can write here in short like this: 1:2:4:1:2:1:2:1. But if you consider the phenotypic ratio, here if you count these tall round, there are 9 tall round. Then yes, 3 tall wrinkled. Then 3 dwarf round. And 1 dwarf wrinkled. That is, the phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. This is the phenotypic ratio. Now, how can this particular dihybrid cross help in finding out or studying the independent assortment? Consider the tall seeded, the tall plants with round seeds and dwarf plant with wrinkled seeds. These are the parents, okay, tall round and dwarf wrinkled. But among the offsprings, especially F2 generation, we have got tall plants with wrinkled seeds and dwarf plants with round seeds. It means that there are tall plants with round or wrinkled seeds and dwarf plants with round or wrinkled seeds. Conversely, there are round seeded plants with tall or dwarf nature and wrinkled seeded plants also having height tall or dwarf. It means that these two genes, the gene for height and the genes for nature of the seed coat, they have no relationship with each other. They are inherited independent of each other, and therefore we can say that the law of dominance can help us finding out the law of independent assortment can help us in finding out the 9:3:3:1 ratio as mentioned here in this cross, and it also indicates that the genes for two different characters are inherited independent of each other. There is no relationship between these two gene pairs. But if there is more linkage, assuming that these genes are present on the homologous chromosomes, that is capital T and capital R on the same homologous chromosome as we have assumed in, small t and small r on the same homologous chromosomes, and assuming that the genes are very close to each other, then there will be more linkage between them, and therefore if you consider the F2 generation, you would have not got the ratio 9:3:3:1. Rather, the parental combination will be more and recombinations will be quite less. Here the parental combinations are 9 plus 1, that is 10, and recombinations are 3 plus 3, that is 6. But if there is a more linkage between the genes, there would have been some difference in or different type of ratio in the F2 generation, indicating that the law of independent assortment helps us in studying also linkage.